Hey there everyone and welcome back to GameVine. My name is Dave.
Trevor. Chris.
And today we are doing a silly game. It's probably going to get a tiny bit awkward up in here because there's going to be a ton of winking going on. Because in the name of this game, it's basically called that, Wink. It's a party game that, do you want to give us a breakdown? Trevor, tell us a little bit about this game.
Okay, Trevor.
Yeah,
You want to wink at each other. It's just about as simple as that. No, it's kind of a secret game. If you've ever, I know you're not going to like this comparison, but this is what you have to be very observant while trying to get away with stuff. So it reminded me of Cheating Moth.
I'm not going to say
you want to be observant of what other people are doing as well as hiding what you're doing.
Yep, and this is basically a kind of party game that will dissolve if you don't follow the rules, like some of us did in the first playthrough that I did. Basically, you are trying to gain cards via getting them from the middle of the board or telling the other person with a wink that you have the card that they're looking for, which in turn will help you both out. You're trying to score as many cards as you can and be the winner of the game of Wink. And it has all the different smiley faces and the mustachio on the cards, but really the art's just there to be silly. The numbers are really what you're focused on, but sometimes you can catch people when they're winking, but that's a lot easier said than done. So without further ado, let's show you what comes in this tiny box, and then we'll tell you what we think. Let's go. So this is quite simply what comes in the game of Wink. Cards and some pretty durable wooden pawns. And that's normally how party games work. The game is much bigger than the components most of the time. So you get two different decks, the white deck on the back here, and then you get the black one as well. And these are identical. They have the same numbers and the same faces, so 25 and that one will be the same exact one. And I'll tell you why that matters in a second. You also get cards for each player and their color pawn, because this is going to be kind of their score pile, and I'll get into that in a second. You also get these kind of veto cards, or I got you cards. I want to point out the insert. Normally I don't like the inserts in most games, but they laid this out really nicely. Everything fits perfectly. So now that you see what comes in the box, let me show you how to play. So here I have Wink set up for the full complement of players. The only thing that's different when it comes to number of players is the amount of cards you're going to get in your hand. Now, you're going to take one of the decks and place it out as you see it here in a 6x6 grid, 1 to 36. And then you're going to have everybody's pawn on their actual card, and you're going to give everybody 4 of these I Caught You cards. That's what I'm going to call them in the video. And the other deck is going to be provided to build hands. So in a 4-player game, you're going to give out 7 cards. In a 6-player game, you're going to give out 6 cards, so forth and so on. So you'll deal out this identical deck right here to each player, and they're going to take their first turn, and basically the first turn is really simple. All you are doing in this game is moving your pawn onto one of these numbers. That is a turn, and or you're going to be trying to predict or tell who has a number in which you placed your pawn down on in their hand in order to score. Now, the person is going to want you to guess right, because in that case, 2 people score. So let me get into the actual details. So on your first turn, everybody's going to be placing their pawns on numbers. And what number are you going to be placing it on? You have to tell that by looking in your hand, and you don't want to put your pawn on any card that you have in your hand. You want to look and see, okay, well, I don't have 33 in my hand, so I'm going to put it out here. And this is telling everybody at the table that you don't have 33 in your hand, and if they do, and they're able to let you know, and that's the whole thing about this game, I'll tell you that in a second, and you pick right, they will score it in their hand, and you will pick up this card and score it as well and put it underneath your pawn card, so people don't know how many cards you get in your score pile. Each card only counts for 1 point. So the numbers are only there to, have that kind of interaction. Oh, I don't have this card. All cards are worth 1 point. So how do you play this game and let people know? what you have in your hands, well, the game, you really can't talk. I mean, you can. It really just depends on how lawyery you want to be when you play this game. You can do it and not speak, and the only way that you can tell somebody is wink at them. Now, when people see your pawn on 27, and let's say I am going for 27, and everybody at the table is like, okay, well, let me look at my hand, and Chris here has 27 in his hand, he has to secretly wink at me in order to say, hey man, guess me, we'll both get 2 points. But it's all happened simultaneously. You can wink at any point, but if somebody catches you, they say, I got you. Now, this is the honor roll. You have to abide by that. If you're not playing with people who do, well, you shouldn't be playing with them. And in this case, instead of each player scoring one from his hand and then taking it off the board, the person that caught the player winking will take the 27 that I got caught, well, I was trying to get here, and then the person that got caught will take the 27 from their hand, and both of these cards, let's say, go to Marissa because she caught Chris winking at me. Now, that's the way that you can score 2 points and it not be your turn. You have a certain amount of these, so you can only do it so many times. So this process will continue. When you guess right, the pawn's going to stay there, and on your next turn, you're going to just move it, and that will be your turn. Everybody is going to have their pawns out here on the table, and there's going to be a whole bunch of awkward winking going on. Again, you can't say that you have a card, because if you get caught, people are going to call you out, boom, and steal your points. Now, say you miss somebody's wink, or in the certain amount of games, some of the cards are going to be left out. So nobody has, let's say, 21 here, and when it comes back around to Yellow's turn, she has to guess the number that she's on. She has no way out. So if she didn't see a wink, she can just randomly guess and hope for the best. But if she guesses wrong, this one will flip over, her pawn will stay there, and she has to move on the next turn. But this will also trigger the end game as time goes on. Two things can end the game. So one person is depleting their hand all the way down to 0, and then once that happens, you score all the points that are under your card. The person with the highest amount wins. If that doesn't happen before all the cards have been claimed from the middle and all the other cards that haven't been claimed have been flipped over, that will trigger the end of the game. Again, you will count up all your points underneath your card and see who wins. Now, it's such a simple concept, and it just steamrolls into an experience that you want to play over and over again. So that is the basic gameplay of Wink. Let's go ahead and tell you what we think about it, and then we'll give this game a grade. Let's go. And that's basically it. Very simple. It was pretty easy to explain, and that's one of the things I think I like about this game. You can just throw it on the board, and people are going to see the kind of emoji face silliness, and some are more ironic than others, and they're going to be drawn to it because people are... You're not really necessarily supposed to talk too much. A lot of the communication are supposed to be done with the winking of the eyes. So, what do we think about this game? I'm going to normally do what I do all the time and give it a grade or a percentage, and these guys are going to do whatever the heck they want to do. And we'll find out what I want. That's what he does.
Yeah.
So I gave Wink a 72. I think it's a solid party game. A game that I would consider bringing out over many other party games because I think it's a nice icebreaker. Of course, it does get kind of awkward, and there are going to be people that are better at winking than others. I mean, my wife killed it this game, so I don't know if because she...
Is that a red flag?
Yeah, she's a good winker or she's just sneaky at it, but... that if you have that down, I mean, you can do really well in this game. I love the kind of fun that it brings out. There was so much laughter, especially when this guy goes all cockeyed crazy and he just can't he can't put his eyelids down for 1 second. And I think that's where what it's trying to accomplish is a fun, festive, and just outrageous kind of awkward party experience. And I think it succeeds there. Not ground-shattering or something that's going to blow you out of the water, but in an experience that you're going to leave and you're going to remember it because you're going to be like, oh my God, I didn't even see you wink, but I called the card there. That was just pretty nice. That's happened to me a few times. I can't catch this guy winking even if I need to or if I'm trying to stop him. But I do like the kind of mechanism where you are trying to catch them, like the what was it, cheating moth that you said?
Cheating moth, yeah.
I like that aspect to it. It does keep people very vigilant, but keeps the game still light. That's what I think about the game. 72, a low C for me. What are you going to be giving it?
I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
I actually did enjoy this game.
Did you think that you? I mean, with a name like Wink, did you think that you were going to like it at all?
I didn't think I was going to be.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird name,
and
it
quick,
looks really crazy too.
Right, and it's a quick game to play. It didn't. We played a few times. I actually wouldn't mind to kept playing more.
Yeah, you actually asked to play again.
Yeah, and the little like Dave said here, the faces on here, they don't really do much for it. I mean, doesn't hurt it, doesn't take away anything. Just cool. They look nice. Numbers are just for, like you said in the explanation, just to know what you have in your hand and not pick.
Don't pick the cards in your hand.
But yeah, it's great. And the winks are. You just have to pay attention to everybody, like Trevor said.
It's so
cheating
hard.
It's
It was a lot harder than cheating moth.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Oh yeah. And instead of one person paying attention to everyone, and not everyone at the table can't
you
bluff
just gotta
or
look at
tell
everybody,
people.
yeah.
Everyone has the power to do that and stop it. So I like that.
And you got to catch it. You try to be subtle, and sometimes you're not. But that's the fun part of it. Somebody catches you, it's not the end of the game. I mean, it could be, might be, but it's not going to hurt it.
It's one of those
fun.
teeth grinding moments. Like, we had a lot of those. I felt just like,
I was hitting the table.
So, yep. So I'm good. I'm saying it's 7.
7
Fun
out of
game.
10, huh?
Play it anytime you guys want.
Your turn.
You know what I'm gonna do? I've slowly tiptoed my way into your territory.
I'm
not gonna give it a grade or a percentage, but I'm
Oh.
basically doing that because I'm gonna give it a 7.7.
7.7.
Which is kind of halfway between, close to halfway between.
That is the
8 and
highest
a
out of all 3 of us. That is the highest out of
Listen, you guys know me.
That's right.
I'm gonna find really fun strategy games that I like, but this is the type of game that gets people animated. We are always
absolutely.
cracking up, having a good time, and I mean, yeah, you want to play some really gamer-heavy games and some fun strategy games, but at the same time, what's worth gaming if you're not having fun and laughing every once in a while?
And it's a great filler. So if you want to do the strategy games, this is a good segue to kind of loosen people up to start to.
Or if you just got out of a supremely contentious game and friendships are about to end, maybe lighten it up with a little wink. You know what I'm saying? A little wink and a smile.
Was it awkward at all for you? Was it?
No, it wasn't awkward. But that's the thing, though. We played with just the 3 of us and Marissa, and I feel like we're all really comfortable around each other, and we act a fool around each other quite a bit, so I think we were okay with that.
Yeah.
But no, I give it a really good grade. I mean, for the most part, that's not a super high grade, but it's really solid, in my opinion. I think it's a fun party game, and I think if you're playing with people you're really comfortable with, you're going to have a ball. Quick side note, what was the guy's name in Fallout 3? The little computer guy.
Right.
Do you know what I'm talking about? That's what all these faces remind me of.
Yep.
One is New Vegas.
Yep, New Vegas.
I forget.
House?
I forget.
House?
No, it wasn't House. That was the other dude. We'll remember it later.
Yeah, whatever.
And he'll flash it up on the screen maybe.
Maybe.
But yeah, no, I really like this game, and for me, it's all about the experience. I mean, I'm not going to nitpick a game like this because it's just strictly about did you have fun, did you laugh?
Yeah.
And we did that.
Yeah.
And it was a blast.
And what are you going to, we're going
to... since we got 4 to 8 players.
Right, that's what I was going to talk about.
I think a bigger game would be fun, too.
But it's hard with
that would be
4
insane.
players.
It would. 4 was a little difficult.
We
but
played
I think
a few times before and we had a trouble time.
Yeah, I know, but I think it'd be more fun, too.
No, I think it will be a lot of fun because more people are looking and maybe they'll catch them more. We haven't played a larger game, but it's something that I would definitely do. I don't know. He's by the groans. He might not do it.
I might have a heart attack, man.
Yeah, but it'd be cool to just even to play this game with people that you haven't played before.
I think this is a good one to do.
Like you said, it's the icebreaker.
Yep. So normally party games, I would be in agreement with Trevor, where you really have to know somebody. But I think this one is a good one to bring strangers in too. You can just bring us to a con and say we're gonna wink at each other and we're gonna know each other real well at the end of this game. But that's pretty much what we think about this. Do you guys want to say anything else before we head out?
I recommend it. It's a fun party game and gets the juices flowing and ready to rock and game.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with Trevor.
And I am definitely going to recommend this. Not just because Blue Orange gave us the review copy. Thank you again for your support. Very much appreciated. We couldn't have got this review out done so fast if we didn't have it, because I got this at Origins and this is the first game that we reviewed, and I thought it again because it's simple, it's fast. I can bust it on the table, teach it in a few minutes, and it's just ready to go. So I can't recommend this enough. Thank you so much for your support, Blue Orange Games, and thank you so much for your support out there, you viewers. Really do appreciate you there. Really, again, that's the lifeblood of Gamevine here. So until the next time that we see you, I've been Dave.
Trevor. Chris.
Have a great rest of your day and a great time with all the winks that you give out.
Bang bang boo.
Winky wink wink.